Hey folks, welcome back to another review with yours truly, Sam Healey. Today we're taking a look at The Climbers, a little bit of an abstract strategy game where you're trying to get your climber to the top of the wooden block structure that is communally built by everybody at the table before the game begins, and try to get to the highest spot first because that ensures victory. How that actually works, let's get down to the table and I'll show you. We'll come back in a few moments after that with some final thoughts. Let's get to it. At the beginning of a game of The Climbers, you're going to first of all take the two neutral blocks here and set them in the middle of the playing surface however you would like to, but they have to be standing up that direction. And then each player is going to help build the construct around these two things, and so it will turn into this. Now, each player is going to take their pawn, a blocking disc, a long ladder, and a short ladder to be able to be used during the game. All three of these items are one-time uses, and they are used to pretty much do exactly what they sound like. This one will block somebody from moving to a certain face of the tower. These are used to traverse from one level to the next that the person can't reach on his own. Now, as I mentioned before, the whole point of this is to move your guy up this structure and hopefully be the person that is in the tallest or highest position at the end of the game. In order to do that, you're going to have to move from block to block. And there are some cases where, for example, in this case right here, where the model is higher than the face that it's reaching, then that's a free move. He can do that without any help whatsoever. Same thing with this as well. Now, I should say here that whenever you move to a new level, it must be either your color level or this neutral color, which is kind of a grayish color there. So as long as the level that you're moving to is your color or the gray color, you're fine. You can do that movement, no problem. The ladders will help you move from one level to another that you cannot reach. So for example, I normally would not be able to go from here to here because it is higher than my guy. But if I put a ladder there, I can go up there. And again, like I said, it's a one-time use. Once you've used it, it's gone. But you can use both of your ladders in the same turn if that would actually be able to course. So for example, if this were like this, he would then be able to use this ladder to go up to that level, like so. Each square has a number of spaces into it that are equal. For example, these level 2s have 4 spaces in them. These, when they're set on their side, have only 2 spaces on them. So an example of this right here, where you have 2 people occupying this 2-space block face, then nobody would be able to move up there until someone else moved away from it, like so. Of course, that wouldn't have been a legal move anyway. Now, it is important to note that during your turn, either before you move, during your move, or after you moved, you can take a block from anywhere on the structure and reposition it, flip it, whatever you'd like to do, but it has to be an unoccupied block. So for example, I could take this block right here and put it somewhere else, maybe something like this, as long as it is touching the main structure in some way. The game would continue until such a round where none of the players are able to continue moving upward. In that case, the person who is at the highest level is the winner. And if there is a tie for being at the highest level, it's whoever got up to that level first. That person would be the winner. And that's generally how you play The Climbers. So that is that for The Climbers. Not a terribly difficult game. It is very easy to teach, very easy to play, and it has a lot of, I guess, replayability to it because those blocks can really be arranged in any kind of structure, any type of shape that you want it to be formed into. And so the different moves that you're going to be able to make from game to game is going to change pretty drastically depending on how the structure is built at the beginning. Then on top of that, you have the opportunity to move and rotate pieces on your turn. Just a really cool opportunity for using a bunch of blocks. I mean, I remember as a kid playing with blocks. I remember my kids playing with blocks. And so it's pretty neat that a game can be made using such a fundamental shape, a fundamental toy, so to speak. I guess one thing that I should mention, I did mention the blocking discs that you have, but I failed to mention when you could use them. And basically you can use them at the end of your turn. But again, once you use it, it's gone. It's a one-use thing and that is it. So you have to be very careful with how you use that blocking disc, but can be very useful to making sure that you get the win, especially if you save it towards the end of the game. The ladders were also cool. I like the fact that they were actually wooden ladders and they are durable. They're not very flimsy at all. All in all, I think that this is not going to be a game that I'm going to come back to very much, simply because it is a little bit too abstract for my tastes. Now, here recently, I've been liking a lot of abstract games a lot more, but it's because they have a very cool theme wrapped around them, or they have a very artistic look to them. And that just isn't here. I like the color that's used in the game, and I like how colorful the blocks are, but at the same time, they are just blocks. And you're just using pawns, not some type of miniature or some type of meeple or something to that effect. So while the component quality of the game is very good, very strong and sturdy and durable, it's just blocks. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but for me, wanting to play this game again, probably not going to be so much. But I know that my family enjoyed it a lot, so I'm probably going to be playing it at their behest more often than at mine. So that is The Climbers. We're going to go ahead and give this one thumb up because I do like the fact that it is very family friendly, and it is one that I can play with my smaller child, Aiden, and he enjoyed it as well. But as far as the gamer in me, this is not one that I'm going to want to gravitate back to at any point in the near future. So that is The Climbers. I'm going to say about a 6 out of 10 for me because I did enjoy it, but it's not one that I'll want to gravitate back towards anytime soon. That's it from me. We'll see you guys on the flip side.